Good evening. I wanted to it's been a crazy week, you all. I need to fill you in on what's been going on. Soon, for the Louisville Metro Council office, we'll be doing a podcast and we'll feature different people and topics, and I'll be sharing that information so you all can be filled in. We're also going to add power of the purse. I want to show you all the things about Metro Council that I'm learning about the legislative governing process, the requesting funds, and how we can get more smaller organizations and more business opportunities for people. And so I'm excited about this podcast and being able to do that and updating our newsletter. And please keep inviting District 3 to your events. I got to attend with my team an opening today for the Blitz, and it's a whole suite of salon and spaces. It's got technology. You only pay your rent. They have different prices and packages. It's Black woman owned. It was amazing to see that. It's on 7th Street. It's right downtown. So I got to see that opening. And I want to come to more of those. I don't always know about those, you all. Please don't assume I know about your event if you have not emailed our council, or even if you're looking to do something with my Vocal Kentucky work. Let me know. Shamika at vocal-ky.org, or if it's for Metro Council, Shamika.Parrish-Wright, Parrish, Wright is all together, no hyphen, at louisvilleky.gov. Or if you want to get the best response, then you should email benjamin.harlan at louisvilleky.gov, or Dre Dawson at louisvilleky.gov, because they will make sure your event gets on my calendar. They'll let you know what's going on. They are my go-tos. I am managing 2 different teams right now. I'm managing my Vocal Kentucky team, which is growing, and I'm also managing the District 3 team in the work. So I spend my 8 hours of vocal stuff, and then I spend the rest of the time that I can get and more working on Metro Council stuff. So I don't have a problem juggling both, because I've always worked, ran a small business, ran a family, all that stuff. I've always done that. But because the government role has more structure and procedural stuff, and some things are flexible but some aren't, I want to make sure that I'm doing right. I want to be a responsible steward of not only my time, your time, and the resources that we have access to, and connecting people. So I have to bottleneck some of the communication so that I can be what I need to be and show up and show the district why they elected me and why I am working hard for every one of the people and beyond, right? Because the work that we do is not only for our district, it's primarily for our district, but it's also for the whole city. In every 26 district in this county matters. Every person in this county matters. So anyway, I ask that you be patient. You let us know, and we'll be hosting some events. We're going to collaborate with some of the other council people. But tonight, I'm thinking about how cold it's going to get over the weekend and in the next week. I've been asked to be one of the grand marshals in the MLK Day parade and gathering, and I'm excited about that. And, I've always attended the motorcades, and I just respect the work that MLK and so many unsung heroes and sheroes have just really afforded us the lives that we live now in so many ways. And anyway, I'm excited about that. I'm going to the NLCW. I might have gotten that wrong. Breakfast in the morning. I have a board retreat after that. So it don't end, y'all, but I'm excited. I'm happy. And I do get my rest, and I am working on self-care. That's always a thing to work on. But speaking of self-care, the other night, I was leaving the office late, and someone was out there. He was wrapped in blankets, and he asked for some change. I gave him everything that I had. And I was just thinking about all the people who are going to be exposed to cold weather. There's people who are living without utilities. I don't know if people realize that there's a great deal of people in Louisville, in Jefferson County, and all over Kentucky who are what I consider to be house poor or apartment poor. Some people have enough to barely do the necessities to be able to pay their rent, pay their mortgage, and sometimes they have to choose bills out of a hat and choose what they're going to pay. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's electric, and there are ways you can get by without either one. But when the weather is extreme like this, it makes it so hard. So I want you all to think about that as you lay in your beds, even in the couch or in your grandmama's basement. The reality is that some people don't have that. And it's not your fault. You're not the reason they don't have it necessarily, unless you just, a capitalist billionaire or millionaire who's just got too much money anyway. But most of us are hardworking, working class people who are trying to have a quality of life throughout whatever. And so it's not your fault, but it is, to me, our duty and our rent to this life, our rent to this world and to this earth, to do what we can to support people, right? To support people when we can. I'm not saying you got to break your neck, but I'm saying, consider the things. And maybe I have a soft heart because I've been in the streets. I think about that on this council. Like, how many of them have actually been homeless? How many of them have, and they're in decision-making positions. And I know that a lot of them have really good hearts and they want to do the right thing. And it's not all just about poor people. It's about business and revenue and all that stuff and zoning. But the reality is that if you're getting into politics or social justice work, then you have a duty to the people. So when you're considering things, and even when you're like, oh, I want to do this and look out for this neighborhood or these friends of mine, you got to think about all the impacts. So I ain't really felt the heat, but people who don't like the way I took my first vote. I am a housing advocate to the core. While I was poor and homeless, I fought for Affordable Housing Trust Fund. I lobbied, I talked. I was out there talking to people even while I was receiving housing assistance. And I said on that last Metro Council meeting we had in December, when I went in there, I had looked at all the paperwork, looked at all these things, and I was just like, I would have to have some convincing evidence to change my mind and not support housing. Do I believe that some housing and types of housing is concentrated in certain communities? Yes. Do I believe that there should be all kinds of housing options in every zip code? Yes. Do I believe in mixed income? Yes. Do I believe in housing diversity? Yes. But the signs that I was reading in that audience were very confusing, because the people who were holding them were giving me energy of not in my backyard. This NIMBYism that is taken over. And the reality is we are over 31,000 units short of affordable, adequate, available housing. And I am somebody who uses the same corridor, and I did not get any messages from my constituents in District 3 or any other district, unless I missed an email that told me, hey, I don't support this Cane Run development, after 2 planning commission votes to approve it. And as a new council person, my first vote was not going to be against housing, because I come from the renting community. There's a big renting community. I don't know if people realize that. There's not enough pathways to home ownership. And there's a lot of our people who are newly unhoused are people who are renters and who used to be renters. There is quite a bit that, used to be homeowners, because we do have an increasing foreclosure rate. But primarily, most of those folks used to be renters, or have tapped out of their transitional living spaces, a myriad of reasons. And we have a big need, 31,000 units. And if you all want to see this housing issue addressed in our lifetimes, then that means we all have to figure things out. I believe in community building agreements. I believe that the people in those communities should help drive what shows up. But I also know that in positions of leadership, you have to make decisions that not only deal with the now, but also addresses what we see coming later. And I want to see our seniors stay housed. I want to see them get the home repair and everything that they deserve. And every community has a need. Every neighborhood has a need. And I agree, there's not enough housing everywhere. But I know that this housing, what I've learned about in that vote that I made, some of that housing was going to be dedicated to marginalized youth. And some of that housing will be dedicated to people who have been chronically unhoused and need case management. And so there's a lot of reasons. And then in this process, people I don't know are constantly, they don't have a conversation with you. They make a lot of assumptions. And then, at the end of the day, they're going home to their homes. They're going home to their warm, comfy beds. And everybody is living to fight another day. So I hope that every decision I make is great to the people that I serve. But I also know that all of these decisions are hard. And I just wanted to share that as I drive home tonight, I'm thinking about the people who don't have what I have, right? I don't have to care, but I care. And I think about before I became a homeowner in 2018, I was a renter. And I think about what the stability of owning a home has brought to me and my family. The times we were stuck in my car, the times we were stuck in the rain, the time when we had to sleep on somebody's couch, the times when we slept in somebody's abandoned duplex that they let my kids spend the night in, the times that we had to live in a hotel, the times that we had to stay with people who didn't want our big family there. And what we've been able to do together and develop has been phenomenal. And it has happened through grace, through love, through patience, through education, through subsidy. You either get subsidies on the front end or you get them on the back end. So it's okay when businesses and developers and all these people get subsidies on the back end, but we want to condemn the people who are getting them on the front end. And we don't know how long we'll be here. I want my time on this earth to count towards things that really matter. And family, the pursuit of justice and happiness and a quality of life is really important. And it's not just important for me. It was important when I was unhoused. It was important when I was a teen mom. It was important when I was on Section 8. It was important when I was still trying to figure life out. And so when people support people who are down and out, that's not charity. You're contributing to the society we all buy into. We pay our taxes to. And that's why I like mutual aid, because it's about not dealing with the barriers to accessing support and care and resources and funding. The barriers people put are just so bad. Even with some of the funding and organizational work, it's like so many hoops to jump through. So anyway, this week started out really rough. We had a break-in, but we dealt with that. We upgraded our security. We know that we moved our vocal office into a high needs area. We know that there's challenges with that. And I remember I was leaving a press conference the other day, And I was running late because of the break-in, and I said, hey, you all, I was just dealing with, the back and forth of a break-in, and one of the reporters said, do you want us to help you go after the people? And I said, I want people to know that when these things happen, we have a decision to make. Yes, protect yourself, protect your property, and do all of that, right? I don't want somebody to die or be in jail the rest of their life. I do want them to think about and be held responsible for the things that they do. But I know that when we just only focus on criminalizing poverty and locking them up and throw away the key, we don't deal with the root causes. If that stuff worked, we would be safer now. It would have been worked, right? It doesn't work. And there are some people that we don't have resources and things for to help them, redeem or get on the right track. And those people are in jail, most of them. But there are a great deal more of people who need things addressed so they can start to build the stability and the things that they need to move forward. Those are the people that we're aiming to help, because there's outliers on every side. There's always someone who's just going to be different and go above and beyond the grain. But the majority of the people, that's how we have to make decisions too, as elected officials, as leaders in our homes, in our churches, in our jobs. We have to do what's best for ourselves, the greater good, because if we don't, society doesn't work, right? So I was driving home thinking about that, thinking about the people where the system has failed them, where life has failed them, where it started generations before they even got here, and where they're fighting through all of that, to make it. I have every excuse to not give a damn, to join cliques, to think that I'm really doing something out here. But that's not me, I do it because I care. And so don't ever let them fool you. I would always do what's right for people. And we have to get rid of this notion that because I'm an activist that I don't do things by the book, right? That is crazy to me, that people think that because you're an activist, anything goes. But if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So I want to learn the right way to do things. I'm very ethical. I try to be legal. I'm going to speak out. I'm going to say if something's wrong or I don't agree with it. I'm going to speak out and say something and do something. But I always want to lead with nonviolence, with justice, with compassion, with love. But you all, I'm not going to jail for y'all to help somebody be crooked. I have a family that I love and support. So we have to do things the right way until we change the way things are done from the inside and out. And that is my goal. This notion that, this way people have contacted me, mentioned stuff like, do you have a slush fund? Do you have this and that? I don't move like that. I think that's a surprise to some people because they put us in activists and community organizers and whatever. The people that fight for rights, they put us in this box. I told y'all when I was even at the park, I just say I understand things. I get it. But I'm not with everything that's happening. I can't be. I'm building stability. I'm findable. I don't move out of fear. I'm not scared. But I'm choosing to be on the right side of history, the right side of justice, the right side of equality. So I have to make decisions that lead to that, right? So, yeah, it's interesting being on this side. But I don't feel that much different, you all. There's rules. There's, learning the ins and outs. There's a lot of people with hidden agendas and doing all kind of stuff. There's people who say people should be locked up, and they're in here being corrupt and cheating on their partners and doing all kinds of stuff, and then have the audacity to point the finger at somebody that's unhoused or somebody that commits a petty crime. I see people who are in elected office committing horrible, violent crimes. They're just not physical. And I'm here to shed light on that. I'm here to deal with some of that, because this is not the way. This is not the way. So anyway, you all, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm not perfect. I am approachable. Let's figure things out together. I want to do projects. I know a lot of people, you got to do the fluffy stuff. You got to do constituent concerns. You have to, show the people what you're doing. I'm down for all of that, So please connect with me, connect with the office, connect with my vocal work if you're more interested in the nonprofit work that I do. Connect with the, political office. You want to learn more about it. I can give you advice on things I learned while running for school board, for mayor, and for council. Yeah, I've been running the last 4 years. If you think about it, I ran in 2019. 2020 was a blur. Then I ran in 21, 22, and 23. Like, I've been putting myself out there year after year after year. I don't give up, but man, I'm looking forward to fulfilling my duties at this office, serving my district and my community and my city in a bigger way, and also opening the door to more transparency, education, and awareness on why we do what we do. But tonight, you all, whatever you do, think about what you can do to help someone else. You don't have to exhaust all of your resources, but give back, all right? Give back. So thank you. This went way longer than I planned. I'm going to have to break this up. But I think I might put it on YouTube to share. But I appreciate every one of you that's been reaching out. Enjoy your weekend. Stay warm. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay in love. Live life. Love life. And do your part. All right. Bye, y'all.